Hello and welcome to my channel To Plan For. Today I want to start swatching all my inks, and I had this idea because I recently saw this traveler's notebook, what's it called, card file, and I thought it would be just really nice to have my ink swatch cards in here. So far I have swatched all my inks here in the back of this, I think it's Dominant Industry book, and I have them all here in the back. But I ordered them by brand, and I would like to be able to compare them a little bit more easier, and I think therefore cards would be a nice idea. And I want to start with this ink, which I got at the Dutch Penshow. So last weekend I was at the Dutch Penshow, and it was a really very nice experience. It was my first pen show, and it was just very interesting to meet so many people with similar interests, see all those different pens, inks, other stationery products. So definitely planning to go back. And yeah, before I went to the Dutch Penshow, I had 31 bottles of ink. And yeah, the Penshow, I had the VIP ticket. And part of this ticket was the goodie bag, and it included already 3 full bottles of ink. I also participated in the workshop where we got this ink. And also, well, when you're at the pen show, it's hard not to buy one or the other ink. So yeah, I don't want to talk about the number of ink bottles I have now. So yeah. Anyway, so my plan is to swatch all my inks on those wearable swatch cards, and then just put them in here where I can get them out easily, swatch them around, order them in different ways, like color, brand, whatever. And yeah, so I think that would be a nice thing. And of course, if you have fountain pens and inks as an interest, I don't want to call it hobby, but that's something that interests me, you definitely can have more than one way to swatch your inks. So swatching them is part of the fun. Okay, so as I said, I participated in a workshop at the Dutch Penshow, and there we got this ink. It's my first Otto Hutt. I'm just gonna pronounce it very German because my native language is German, and it's made in Germany, this ink, so I guess it's also, the name is pronounced German. So Otto Hutt or Otto Hutt, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we got this ink, and I think it's the first scented ink I have. I don't think I have another one. No. And at the workshop, we're sitting at this table, and everybody opened their ink, and a woman next to me said this ink, or the smell of the ink, reminds her of the shower. I had a thought that was not so very nice. It reminds me a little bit of the toilet, like this little cubes you put in there to keep your toilet clean. It kind of smells like that. Maybe like a shower gel or something like that. More like a scent that is more targeted towards men. But really, it was my first thought, okay, toilet. But anyway, I think the good thing is when you put it in a pen, you can barely smell it, which I guess is not good if you buy an ink for the smell, a scented ink. But when you don't really appreciate the smell, I guess that's an advantage. Yeah, it's just not my smell. Yeah, but when you write with it, you really have to, I don't know, sniff the nib to smell it. And yeah, I guess you don't do that. So let's have a look what it looks on paper. So I think the color is very nice. I think it has a very interesting blue. I'm impressed by the color. In general, I'm a fan of blues, which you will see when I go through all my inks and swatch them. I have many different blue gray combinations. So that's just a color spectrum I really appreciate, and so I think it looks very nicely. What is not so nice is how it writes. I have had this ink so far only in this Safari Lamy fountain pen with a medium nib, and I am not so sure if I like it. So, first of all, I don't think the ink flow is very nice. I mean, you can even see it here. It's not consistent. And usually I don't have any trouble with my Lamy Safari. I really like this pen. By the way, the ink is called Morning Sea Ocean. Yeah, but I don't want to say the ink is bad, but definitely this ink and pen combination is not good. I don't have any other Otto Hutt inks to compare it to. I don't know if it says anything about the brand. I know scented inks are always a little bit difficult, but this one is definitely not a combination I like. I'm also not so sure if I will keep this ink. Maybe it will come back with me to the pen show next year, where there's a table where you can put stuff you don't want to keep. Maybe some other person can appreciate it. Or I mean, I might try it in different pens, see if it works in another pen better. But definitely this combination is not pleasant to write with. I like the color. I like how it looks on paper. I don't like the smell, but okay, as I said, not so bad as you can barely smell it when you write with it. And I don't like this ink and pen combination. But yeah, I just wanted to share with you this ink I got at the Dutch Penshow. As I said, my first Otto Hutt ink, my first scented ink. So whatever I say about this ink, keep in mind that I don't have any experience with that ink brand, with scented ink. So yeah, it's just my personal opinion. I would not buy this ink again, definitely not. Or let me say it, I wouldn't recommend this ink. But yeah, as I said, it's a personal opinion. But yeah, I just wanted to show this to you, and maybe it helps you to make up your own mind if you want to buy this ink or not. Definitely looks nice on the swatch. Okay, then as I said, I will swatch all my inks in the near future, and when I have more ink swatches on those cards, I we'll have the chance to compare a few of them. But yeah, that's the very first video in this, I guess it will be a series. So yeah, hope you stop by for my other ink swatches and have a good day. Bye.